Hi everyone, this is my presentation for an inventory management system proposal to AJ's Country Store by me, Anthony Clemens. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit who I am. I'm a St. Pete College junior. I'm going for technology development and management. I've already got my advanced computer programming specialist certificate in Java. I specialize in Java, HTML, CSS, SQL, and I have experience in working in inventory as well at AutoZone. So the problem that AJ's Country Store faces right now is a lot of supply chain issues, getting stuff in stock, getting stuff at the right prices. Because bigger companies, they have corporate contracts with these suppliers to negotiate better deals, whereas the small guys, such as AJ's Country Store, being a local business, they don't really get that opportunity. And because of that, they go through a lot of price variation. They can't build any buffer like the bigger corporations can, where they, slowly roll out the price changes. And because this, AJ's Country Store is losing some customers to the bigger guys. So the current situation, after talking to the owner James, I found out that he manually price checks everything. He looks at the ads for Publix, Aldi's, Walmart, and finds out who has the cheapest items of which that he can stock for his store compared to his actual supplier, the retailer. This is very time consuming, and he's not always going to be able to find the right things. Sometimes the stuff isn't in the ads, and you got to dig a little bit and you got to find these deals. Whereas he just has to manually go through, and then he has to go and actually physically shop at every single solitary store and make these little tiny lists, of what he needs to get and where. So by adapting an inventory management system for AJ's, the price changes will be done on time. Because the computer is always monitoring everything. He won't really be as vulnerable to the price variations because the computer can actually find out what supplier has the cheapest item and then shop from there and make it so that make a big list for him. And then, like I said, it'll find the best supplier that has it in stock and has it at the best price, so that even if say one supplier's out, it'll find the next best supplier that has it, and then he can just keep the price and hope that the cheapest one will actually come back in stock. So, and with an inventory management system, he'll have the best stock, which will increase customer loyalty because they'll know that, hey, AJ's Country Store has always got the stuff that I want, which will in turn increase the profit for him because having all of this stuff in stock will make sure that the customers keep coming back, and it gives him that competitive edge. If you keep on going to a store and they don't have the items that you want, then you're probably going to stop going to that store. So this will give them that competitive edge that'll increase customer loyalty and profit all at the same time. So, and then because of the inventory management system being able to price check everything and constantly find the best deal, he'll be able to have the best price. It might be a little bit more expensive than Walmart or Publix or whatever, but it's a small business, and it's pretty far from all other businesses around it. So it's either, you drive 20 minutes to the Walmart to save a few cents, or you can just go to your local business that you already have supported for years. It'll draw the customers in because they'll constantly think, oh, well, they had really competitive prices, and that'll bring up customer satisfaction and increase profit just from the amount of people coming in. And then, there's always the thought of, oh, well, what if I just keep going the way I'm going, manually price check everything? The owner is very, very overworked, working easily 50 hours a week, if not more, way more than that, just to make sure that the prices are in line and that everything's checked and inventory is done all by hand. And so it really makes it so that the AJ's Country Store doesn't have that competitive edge, whereas if they had the inventory management system, they would get that competitive edge. And they're very vulnerable to market trends right now because they don't have a computer system to back up what they're doing and find them the best prices. So, the solution could be, why don't we just switch suppliers? Why don't we just stick with one? That supplier could be charging extremely high prices depending on the item. Yeah, it's easier, but what if they're out of stock? Then you have no alternatives, and then you just got to tell your customers, hey, tough luck, I don't have the item, and your prices won't be competitive either. And then as far as implementing the inventory management system, it's very adaptable to market trends. There's a lot of companies that you can just outsource to and be like, hey, I have this problem and I need a solution, and they'll work with you on it, and they'll make sure that it fits your needs. And like I said before, it'll get you the best prices possible by shopping around and finding out who has the best price. Let me make a list, and then the computer will just generate it all in one fell swoop and know what's out of stock. Um, and it'll be less waste because of that, because as long as the computer's keeping track of it and you have a point of sale that's tracking the amount of items leaving the store, the computer can always make sure that you have enough, and then that you don't have too much, so that to the point where you're wasting product because they expire. Um, an inventory management system also has its benefits. It's pretty easy to set up. Like I said, you can just pretty much outsource it to a IT specialist company. It lowers the operating costs because you don't have to pay yourself to sit there and be there for 50, 60 hours a week, constantly trying to do everything by hand. And it lowers the operating costs because you have less wasted product and you have more efficient use of your inventory space. And it frees up a lot of the owner's time to focus on other things like making the store better, finding new products that he wants to introduce, possibly starting another location and make it a chain. It just frees up all his time for the owner to be able to improve his business in other ways. But inventory management systems aren't necessarily without their risks. It still costs something to implement, and you still have to pay someone to do it. And then also having everything done manually for so long, there's a learning curve that it takes. And if you don't learn properly or you make mistakes, errors are going to happen. Say you're scanning all the items and you accidentally put 50 instead of 5 and you don't notice, the computer's going to freak out and try to get rid of it, or or put it on sale or do something with it. And so, it's not invulnerable to anything. And then once again, working on it, why an inventory management system? It gives the customers the best price. It maximizes profit because it always gets it at the best price and always has the right stuff at the right price at the right time. Make sure that there's no waste, and it takes the stress off the business owner because he doesn't have to worry about constantly doing everything by hand. And so I just want to sit down and I want to say thank you guys for listening. This has been my proposal for AJ's Country Store to adapt an inventory management system. Thank you very much.